So what if every single piece of knowledge you shared, every little insight you had, could actually become a verifiable asset, an asset that earns you money? And I'm not talking about just once, but continuously. Well, that's the future Codatta is building right now. So let's dive into how they're architecting this brand new digital economy, one where both humans and, get this, AI agents don't just participate, they profit. We're going to break this down into 4 key parts. First, we'll look at the core vision of turning knowledge into a real asset. Then, we'll see how a new kind of trust engine is being built on top of identity. After that, we'll explore how AI agents become first-class citizens in this whole economy. And finally, we'll see what it all looks like in action. All right, so let's start with the big foundational idea here. It really all comes down to giving your data something it has always lacked, and that is proof. This line right here, it really gets to the absolute heart of the problem. I mean, think about it for a second. Without proof of origin, where did this data come from? Who created it? It's just information floating out there in the void. It can be copied, it can be exploited, it can be used without any credit or compensation going back to the source. This is the fundamental issue that Codatta is setting out to solve. And their solution is what they call the knowledge layer. Now, think of it as a system specifically designed to turn that intangible knowledge into a real tangible asset. By recording it on the blockchain, which is just a super secure, unchangeable digital ledger, your contribution becomes permanently linked to you. This creates a really clear, automated path for you to get paid whenever your knowledge is used down the line. Okay, so you've got these assets, but for them to have any real value, you absolutely need trust. And in this system, trust starts with one thing: identity. And here's a really key distinction. This isn't just about verifying people. The system is built from the ground up to provide a secure identity for AI agents too, allowing both to play on the same field. What's cool is that the system is focused on proving what was done, not necessarily who did it. So you get that verification without having to sacrifice your anonymity. Now this slide, wow, it shows such a stark contrast. On the left, you've got the old way, a total black box where data just gets extracted. It's super vulnerable to fraud, like what they call Sybil attacks. That's where one person just creates tons of fake identities. And it's a world where creators almost never see fair payouts. But then on the right, you have the new model with provenance. Here, every single contribution is verifiable, fraud is way harder to pull off, and data becomes a true royalty-enabled asset. It is a complete game changer in how value is created and shared. So now that we have this foundation of trust and identity in place, things get really, really futuristic. It's time to actually bring AI agents into the economy as true active participants. And this is all made possible by a technical standard called ERC 8004. The easiest way to think about it is like a digital passport for an AI. It's the framework that lets an AI agent have a verifiable identity, to own assets, and to get paid on the blockchain, just like a person would. And this whole process unfolds in 4 pretty logical steps. First step, an agent gets a unique ID. You can think of it like its digital birth certificate. Then it gets registered in a directory so it can be discovered and, hired for tasks. From there, it starts to build an on-chain reputation based on its performance, proving how reliable it is. And then the final and most pivotal step, its contributions are automatically tied to ownership and royalties, making sure it gets paid for its work. Okay, so we've covered a lot of the theory, the assets, the identity, the agents. Now let's look at a real-world example of how this is already being put to work. Anybody who's worked with AI in the fashion industry knows these problems all too well. When you train models on existing photos, it often leads to biases, really weird and unnatural poses, and just distracting, cluttered backgrounds that drag down the quality of the AI's output. So this solution, it's called Fashion 1K. It's a brand new dataset built by the Codatta community. And because it's specialized and totally human-free, it's designed specifically to solve those nagging problems of bias and clutter. It creates a much better foundation for fashion AI. And because it's open source, absolutely everyone can benefit from it. And here's the best part. This isn't just for developers. The whole system is designed for anyone to contribute. Right now, you can jump in and participate by completing super simple tasks, like providing market data on stocks or crypto, and you earn instant rewards for adding value to the knowledge layer. So you can see how this all connects, right? This reveals the core strategy. It all starts with these simple, accessible tasks that can onboard pretty much anyone. That activity then creates real value through the system of provenance and royalties we talked about. And every single one of these small contributions helps build the foundation for that much larger vision, a true functioning agent economy. And this all leaves us with a really fascinating final thought to chew on. As we move into this wild new world where AI can act and earn on our behalf, the lines of ownership, well, they start to get pretty blurry. When your AI agent earns its very first dollar, who truly owns it? Is it yours? Is it the agent's? With a system of verifiable provenance, we might finally, for the first time, have a clear answer to that question.